Hey all, this is Analysis. This is part 2 now of the Gran Turismo recording. We're trying to win with the Corvette, like the really good one, not the prototype. You know. I mean, maybe there have already been people that have designed really good skins for the car and stuff like that, but yeah. I can also wish that Gran Turismo made their own skins or whatever, right, on certain other cars. Stuff like that, because it feels like odd that there isn't certain colors. Like these colors make sense, of course, because of our Corvette and stuff like that, right? But I feel like, you know, like... yeah, we need to be hit now, basically. That's really bad. I thought that we were gonna catch more of them, or whatever. Yeah, because you can cut on that as well. Please don't come out on 20 here now, damn it. See, it might be that the tires are giving up, that's why, you know, stuff that. But here's the thing, right? I know how much it does with tires, how much quicker we can go on mediums. It can be several seconds. Stuff that, and I know that soft makes a really big difference. And here's the thing, right? If the car, if quote unquote, and that's somehow cutting across pit lanes, and now they have, like, these cars have already, like, you know, they have already passed me before, so they're one lap ahead. It's not a good sign, of course. And that third place is not where we came that time when I got really mad and stuff. Yeah. Another thing I'm curious at what point are we going to be able to, like, could we ever get to a point where the first pit we do is on lap 12? Like, how realistic is that going to be? He bumped into me. I don't think I lose the clean race bonus if other people drive into me or whatever. And the fact that they can beat us with the Tomahawk prototype or whatever, or the Tomahawk Gear 1 cars. Let's see, I've got to have the Tomahawk Gear 1 car. Because I have 2 other Tomahawks at least. It might be more actually. So. I mean, you could hope that they drive slower when it's like nighttime and stuff that, you know, that could be a thing. And it also feels weird because sometimes it feels like, okay, why aren't they driving this fast on certain other races? They definitely seem like the difficulty of the game is uneven or something, you know. So we can take some of them at least in the thing. The fact that we're actually still showing that we can catch those cars is good, and he's gonna pit. We're still only 136 behind now and stuff like that, so we are doing good in time. And maybe it's just also if we were braking manually instead of the auto one, we could probably do better braking and save more fuel that way and stuff like that, because generally speaking, the thing with the auto drive is the auto drive should be different depending on the car, but it doesn't. But it does not apparently change at all. Like sometimes it's braking way too early and braking way too heavy and stuff that, like, it doesn't need to. And stuff that's right. And you feel like, yeah, you know, I still have some sort of spec option in this, right? So you can have an AI driver drive volume and stuff that, you know. Yeah, we will be able to do one more lap. Okay, they're 10 seconds ahead, which is a bit bad still. Okay, they're pitting. We can do one more lap. Which should mean that, yeah. I don't know if I would dare to go up with the power here. Most of that, you know. Maybe once we get close enough. Let's set it on 3 and see does that last us to the finish line. Yes, that's the thing that's scary, like does 3 make it last all the way into the finish line? No, I'm doubting it there. I was doubting it way too much there. That was going to last all the way to the finish line. Oh, 19, one position better than last time. Yeah, they was cutting it extremely close, and then we get in 19th place. 19th place at least, that was one place improvement, hell yeah. That actually gives you some cash at least. Yeah, we probably did get cash last time, but still. So yeah, the fact that we cannot even beat, like, we cannot even beat those type of cars and stuff that, like, the race, like. So are we doomed yet? No, we're not doomed or anything, no, and stuff that we go in. We go again. We change into mediums. So we change into mediums. Yeah, I know, detail settings. So now, with this. Right, so, okay. We're almost there already. Okay, that's there. Softs then? Have the brake balance set to 2. I think that was still the most balanced actually. Or maybe I have it set to 0. Let's see what the default one is here. So can we go higher on something? Please. I'm trying to find a sweet balance here. Because maybe if we used to add a little bit of extra weight. Yeah, so we can get away with that. with 1,410. That's a great horsepower. Actually, what do we have if I turn down this all the way to 70? Yeah. Yeah, maybe we do that actually. Maybe we do that. And no, the traction control set on. So, okay, let's see how this goes here. Because I want to see, okay, now we have it at the slowest possible we can have the car at. Basically, now we will see, right? Because if it still cannot match non-50 BB cars, then that would really feel like really bad. And stuff that, you know. If like even with all of these settings, for example, I'm using like the softs and stuff that, you know. The traction control is doing a lot for us, actually. Because we saw how quick it can be in the beginning, and maybe it's just that we need to get a bunch of positions and stuff that as quickly as possible. Because here's the thing, right? Even with these less horsepowers now, right, if we can only get still like only 5 laps, then that is bad. I know technically you can set it also before the race even starts. Like I kind of I wish that you could. For certain races you do have a little bit of time before the race starts, so you can actually change the leniency and stuff that was still, you know. I kind of wish that you could use that as a setting used to change the leniency from the beginning. So you could have it set to 6 and stuff like that, yeah. Because here's the thing, that if they want to be serious about this being a Gear 1 car, right, and if we cannot even win this, right, and that feels like okay, like what's wrong, you know, and stuff that like. What would we actually need to do, you know, and stuff that, you know. I mean, this is probably what we should have done immediately and stuff that to you see, like, okay, like, is it even viable? But because, yes, we do have a lot of horsepowers, but horsepowers aren't everything, right? Because see, if the car is not balanced to be able to win against these cars, even then that feels like really bad. Now, maybe we could participate in the 900 series and win there, you know, and stuff that, you know, because, I mean, if we can win that series, then that I feel would be actually good. Okay, so we're almost done, or in 9th place now. Now we did spin, of course, last time, which cost a lot as well. Because it all depends on when they pit and how fast we can be when we're not pitting or whatever, right? Like how fast can we be on the track? Stuff like that, you know. The fact that it's almost like position 7 now already is important though. So we're doing some really insane lap times, all things considered. So if we can get 3 more laps, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 7 laps instead of like going in on lap 5, coming out on lap 6, so we would come out on lap 8 then. So that doesn't match the best cars, but still, you know. Right, and we are the damn it. Right, the question is right how long does the softs last? Do they last the entire stint though? Is the question. Because I mean, if we can go fast enough with this so that we need to change tires every time we pit, then that doesn't matter. And stuff that if we can go fast enough, basically, and stuff that. If we can basically go quick enough, and the other drivers need to pit, then that's gonna be a huge thing for us. So that. And I know that there are cars that I could win this with and stuff that would be like considerably easier and stuff that. But yeah. And the fact that we're almost matching now, like the really, really good drivers here in the front. Yeah, that's a cool hybrid car that actually looks really, really fucking cool. Okay, so can we get one more? Can we get one more lap? Is the question. Because I feel like even if we need to change tires, right? You know, it doesn't take that much longer. You know, just that I feel like. Okay, so somebody's pitting also as well. It's actually really good for us. Yeah, we're almost getting up to first place almost. I mean, that is insane. Now the question is, are they going to be pitting on this lap? Is the question. Because yeah, I mean, if we can get 7 laps each time, then that feels like right, like it's an improvement with 2 laps. It's a 2-lap improvement basically. Basically, we come in on lap 6. Basically, we come in on lap 6. So it's not that much of an improvement, but still, you know. And yes, we need to pit. And yeah, definitely with the brake balance, we could probably save more. So that. Yeah, that's the main problem now, though, that battery's out. Because then the car just becomes so much slower, and that is just feels like really, really bad to have like a design like that. Okay, softs. Coming on position 5. There's fuel for what I say is 6 laps or a little bit over. Yeah, that checks out. You can see we match those other softs here. But we are going to come out ahead of them because we went into pit earlier than they did. Yeah. Why did it say that we only got 99 fuel there? Did we already use up that fuel in the pit lane? We already used up fuel in the pit lane, are you kidding me? I mean, hey, certain tracks have like a longer pit lane, you know, and stuff like that is understandable. But yeah, so we came out on 14 place, so you understand like how bad pit stops are. And remember that time when we came out and we were like 30 seconds just behind or whatever, right? But yeah, that was of course because of an early pit stop and stuff like that. But I honestly feel like, you know, the question is right, like the fuel should last way longer now when we don't have the extra thing here. Like the fuel needs to last long now at this point. The main problem though is now the car is super slow. Or things considered so that it should actually last way longer now because of the battery stuff like that. Yeah. We're gonna see when certain cars are gonna, do their pit. Because if you can get positions due to them pitting and stuff, that is really good. That's what we're counting on basically, is the fact that yes, we could do like 6 laps and then we come out on 7. So that's, yeah, so lap 12 we're probably gonna be pit and then come out in, but it should be using way less fuel now because we don't have the battery and stuff that, right, so that we shouldn't have as high top speed and stuff that, so we should be like more fuel saving. And that makes no sense, right? Like when the battery gets it, make it so that like you save way more fuel, so that you can go to power 1 and have the same leniency as power 6 or whatever, Okay. So what car does he have? There's probably some sort of special livery on it. Yeah, we cannot match them in speed. It's a bit silly, instead of that, but yeah, no, 11th place. So yeah, maybe this is the correct choice actually, instead of that, even though it feels like we're slow and stuff that, Of course, if we could make the food last longer though with this, which it should do again because of, as I said, how the battery works here. But it just feels like the battery just provides with so much extra speed that it's like really bad. Like why couldn't you have been full used regular fuel and stuff that, and not have that extra speed? Stuff that and just have like, because that's very misleading because this isn't particularly quick in the acceleration at all here and stuff that, Maybe we're also more friendly on the tires now. Also, it seems like we're using up way less tires. But I know that, for example, driving on the grass uses up tires way quicker and stuff that. That's the main problem is that they can take us on. And we're 9th place though. So that's the thing that we're relying basically on them pitting and stuff that. Because we cannot match them in speed. Sadly. So we will see if I was correct with my calculations. Because it's gonna feel weird now that why would you, after the battery has stopped, why would that make you consume more fuel or have it a bit earlier and stuff that makes absolutely no sense. See, we're losing time all the time here, which feels like really odd. We probably have gained a lot now, yeah, now it jumped down to 33 seconds only. Because we're basically gonna have to rely on that they are gonna be pitting way more often than I do. We can make one more, I think, with that, yeah. Yeah, but it's gonna be very close here. Yeah, now we're position 6. See, because that's the thing, right? Eventually they're gonna have to come in and change tires as well. I feel like, that there's no way that their tires last like the whole race and stuff that, So they're gonna have longer pit stops as well. mean, I would love it if we could have like without having to change tires and stuff like that. But I feel like we need to change tires every single time, you know, stuff like that, because we could hope that our lap at some point synergize us again with them pitting and stuff that, you know, and stuff that, you know. Okay, so one is pitting, the Bishop is pitting. If it could be several people pitting now when I'm gonna pit, then that could be really good for us. There you can see the fact that we can match the speed here. It's like really bad, so we can do a lot of positions here. We need to hope that some of these are gonna pit now. Some of them are pitting. See, that's calling it close, man. Softs, yeah, we probably did need to change them. They were probably, nah, we couldn't have done all of this in there with that. Okay, so Opus came in earlier. As long as we can come out before 20th position here, and that's good. 90th position, okay. Now the question is though, do the other tires make you consume less fuel? That's the question, right? Would us using, like, for example, if I would change to like hard tires, would I be consuming less fuel and stuff that, you know? But so one thing that I'm thinking about trying next, for example, is instead of using 6 lenients, maybe we could try with 5 lenients and see how that goes, and then with 4 and then see like, okay, like how much less laps are we getting, right? Because if we can, right, the whole thought is, for example, like, let's say, for example, we instead of getting 6 laps, we can only do 5 if we go on leniency 1, for example. If that would be the case, if we could still get, or let's say we could get 6 laps or whatever, right? Let's say we could get 6 laps, whatever, right? If we could get 6 laps, for example, even like with Power 1, for example, that would be really, really beneficial and stuff like that, yeah. Now we got some extra speed there from the thing there, the battery actually kicked in there. I mean, I know that also people in the lead are probably going to be pitting soon then, like lap 12, lap 13 or whatever it is. I do think that there are certain cars that maybe haven't pit yet and stuff that, and that could be like a break for us. And I don't know, maybe there is something we could do, for example, like, you know, because I would definitely want to try out the whole Power 1 situation and see, okay, because here's the thing, right, if Power 1 means that we get enough power, if Power 1 would mean that we could get enough power basically and stuff that, like, it depends of course also that next time I come in, like how many minutes are there going to be left and stuff that, like that we could calculate out, like, okay, like could we do a stint with the quickest and stuff that, right? Because if we cannot gain positions there, if they're going to keep coming out ahead of me, then that is going to be bad. But the cars in the back should be slower and stuff that, that's the whole thing, right? And as I said, they probably will do longer pit stops at some point and stuff that at least, you know. But I kind of wish that they could add so that you could have like talks with the pit crew, that you could hear other people's strategy, or like, okay, like the cars in front of you are coming in on this pit, they're changing tires, they're refueling, so that you could know that, okay, now they're changing tires. Stuff that, you know. Okay, so someone is speeding, they're only changing tires because they have 99 fuel. Maybe they already came in earlier. You see, that's really bad now if all of a sudden now we cannot get positions at all because we're unlucky with when they're pitting. And now relying on that oh, they have to pit for us to gain positions is like really bad to do. Are we gonna be able to have a quicker stint, though, is the question. Right, we're gonna be able to make one more lap after this. Because of that, I think. Now, of course, I could understand, right, that if we do a race that is not with as much fuel wear or whatever, right, then like things change and stuff that, right, that's the thing, right, that there'll probably be races that has less fuel consumption than the 12, right, because there's different speeds you set it to. Let's yeah, so we haven't gotten a single place this time around, or maybe one position boost. I'm definitely thinking about maybe changing the leniency to 1 for the last stint, right? Because, you know, because the pit stop is going to take a while to do, right? We have to hope that there are going to be other cars that are pitting now, basically, is what we're going to have to hope for. Yeah, now, yeah, that isn't bad, because it's the people in the lead. I don't mind them getting past me and stuff that, you know. The fuel, we did cut it very close here. And the fuel here. Wow, he pushed me over. Okay, so I'm thinking now about trying to still here with right, because there's only that much time left. That's only 5.3 there, for some reason, laps. So why are we consuming way more fuel now? Is it gonna go down to 99 again here? Oh, please. Please. Okay, let's see how power 1 actually goes here. So that's right, because I want to see how far we can get. Because see, if we did a mistake and we used like more leniency and we didn't need to, then that's gonna feel like really bad. question is how much faster are we going to be? The power one. That's the question, right? Because if it's the same fuel consumption because of almost being out of battery and stuff like that, then that's going to feel really, bad. But they're still faster than us, that was the question. Because that's the thing you want to prevent with power one there. Now here's the thing also, we could maybe right, because you're not getting past me though, that's the thing, right? And stuff that, so if power one is enough for us to be quick enough to actually take some positions, then normally I wouldn't keep trying this, normally I would just switch to a car that I know that I can win in and stuff like that, But the thing is, I want to see the potential of the car. I want this car to actually be good and stuff like that. But because maybe there is a balance, right? What gives me the most performance without making the car absolute track and pump one, right? What's the highest we can go to, right? Because I still feel right, that if a top speed is for example, when we could get that 208 top speed, in that felt really great, because then at least we didn't get passed by other cars, and stuff that. So the question is, are we going to be able to make 2 more laps? The fuel one is the question. Probably not so power 4. Because the thing would have been, for example, if I could get away with using less power or whatever, right? Because we all know, for example, yes, I could bring myself up to having more horsepower. For example, I didn't need to cut it down that much. But we're gonna see how much horsepower we can actually get out again. So that, because maybe, maybe let's just get full fuel there. But yeah, it doesn't even, it does change now, it seems, depending on your lead and that, but yeah. But it's weird, why are you consuming more fuel when the battery is low? You're driving at lower speeds and then you're consuming more fuel. You see there, when it used a little bit of battery there that we had there, how much that does. So imagine there be something where we don't use up the battery, because the only reason why we're using up the battery is because of we only use up the battery because Right, and let's see. Right, we got punished there, damn it. You lose so much and then it takes so long time to accelerate again. But see here, we were normally at 280 there, even with the thing before and stuff there, so yeah. You know. Now we're matching the really bad thing there, so yeah, you know. The leniency is still a bad thing, of course. Yeah, you say like 218 or whatever, almost being the top speed is not going to cut it, you know, stuff like that, yeah. I don't know, maybe there is a magical thing where it's like okay, like you only use this amount of fuel saving or whatever, right? And now for some reason, yeah, that's also weird. Sometimes with leniency 1, because we still have, we still have 2 in TCS. So maybe the brake balance is actually worth using. No. We're basically black finishing here, and yeah, we're only gonna finish black 19th place because the next car is basically 1 minute 30 seconds ahead. So you know, it is still bad, man. It's still bad. I have to do that because sometimes, because I couldn't hear very well. So definitely think we can actually do it here. Okay, or you can actually select retry there. So go in here. What's the highest we can get out here? You may think, oh, it's not that much different, but it is. It is that much extra difference. Just give me most 428. That is giving me more 428. Let me do this instead. And then instead do this. Forty-three, 82, 81, 80. Can we bring that up once? Yes. That. Okay. So 71 and 80. Maybe. The question is though, let's say we added 200 ballast. So that can bring this up. Because I know that the power restrictor like reduces by way more. This doesn't give us as many horses here. Okay. Okay. Okay, ballast positioning. 70, 48, 90, 91, 92, 199, 198, 197, 196, 195. Can we get exact here? Because if we could get a very, very exact, oh, that's like too much. Was it never correct here? Was it always over? No. Okay. 81. No, that's too much. Can we get more horsepower? Yes, 91. Can we get, balance position, that's switching is just way too much. Right, because I know that this adds way more horsepower per thing. Okay, we can get 91 there. And how much balance can we remove? Okay. 49. So we can get 1,609 horsepower with a little bit of ballast. Just the positioning change. Let's see how this goes here. And traction control. And we're gonna be using linears physics, of course, but now we're gonna see here, like, okay, like, how much does this give us? Because we are using soft tires and stuff that, like, how many laps can we get? How many laps can we get with Power 6? Like this many more horsepower and stuff that, because, if we can find a correct value where we can still get a lot of laps, right, where we can still get a lot of laps out from the car, right, then that could be like really, really good. And I definitely feel like, for example, like the braking becomes better also when you're heavier and stuff that, but yeah, but maybe it will take more on the tires, but we will see. Because the thing is that, okay, even if we would need to pit often, if we could get to first place before we pit, then that would make a huge difference and stuff that, even though we were like third or fourth that one time when we pitted, stuff that, so yeah. I don't know what was up with that, why the controls felt very, very... Okay. Because imagine, right, if we can get the same amount that we got before. I'm actually going to turn on the light now. Imagine if we could get the same amount of laps that we did before, for example. So that we could get our 6 laps in or whatever before we need to pit, like how good that would be. So that, but I don't know, maybe having more weight somehow makes it more fuel efficient, which seems like that would be counterproductive and stuff that, but I don't know, man, it's just, but it's also because of the fact that we still have the battery and stuff that, and maybe the battery provides you with extra fuel, so you don't consume as much fuel because you're consuming the battery, so maybe that's how the thought is, stuff that, but yeah. But then why not have it so that if there are cars that are that reliant on battery, have it so that the battery refills when you're fueling and stuff that, or something at least, Maybe we need to find a sweet balance here. Stuff that, the fact that yes, we can use racing softs with this. Stuff that. Because again, I said like maybe we need to change the name of this in parties that, oh, this is with racing softs. And then we do another setup with racing mediums, so on and so forth. Because I mean, I'm curious how fast we are gonna be without the battery and stuff that, because if we're fast enough, if we're still faster than the other cars on the track, even with the MC6, then that's really all that matters, that we are quick enough on the track. You can see here we can go over 300, for example, but that's only because we still have battery and stuff that, Yeah. And the fact that we cannot change suspension or anything like that is also like really bad, but yeah. It kind of now seems that we are going to be able to get out the same amount of fuel consumption. It would be insane considering how much more horsepower we have and stuff that, If we could still do 6 laps with this much more black speed. This much more speed. It's not like it's crazy. Sure, we are like wearing our tires like crazy. We are wearing the front, especially, so we should definitely brake balance controller it up. Set for 5 on the rear, I think, because we are consuming the front way quicker than the back, like by a lot. I know that brake balance can make you fuel save as well, so that's a thing. Okay. Yeah, if we can get one more lap, then we're going to come in on lap 6. Stuff that, which is absolutely insane. Because we're that much faster and we can still get the same amount of laps in. We are going to be able to take first place before we even pit once. Which will help us faster. Just to see how fast we are. Right, so you just need to find the correct setup, man, and then use, yeah, I mean, this is kind of how it went the first time. But now it's basically like, yeah, we are so fast. And now we are almost out of the use. So let's see, are we still insanely fast? even without the extra power from the battery. Like, what is the top speed here? Helsingin. Tsunamase Hosana Yenta. Oh man, I don't really want to be pitting now. Oh man. Oh. Maybe I didn't need to pit him. Maybe we could have made it one more there. I thought about switching on mediums actually. Let's see. Because with mediums we could theoretically get even more. The fact that we're matching when some of them pit though, that's the really important thing. Interesting, yeah. So we're gonna see how good it is. Are we still quick? Are we still quick enough with Power 6? Because that's the thing, if we can switch on medium tires, but we could get way more horsepower out from medium tires. Because maybe there would be tracks where we would want to be using the soft setup and stuff, that's right. Then maybe I should call it this, like Racing Soft or RS or whatever, right? Yeah, they're not passing us. I mean, they kinda are, because you can see, yeah, we get nowhere close to 280, whatever, right? And I know that we could reach 280 even without the extra battery and stuff that, you know, so, you know, and maybe we'll be able to get rid of some of the weight also from medium and stuff that, you know. That is something we're going to be doing. It's not just going to be about the horsepower and stuff that, you know, it's going to be also about the, you know, if we change to medium, it's not just going to be about the horsepower, right? Because, you know, again, we want to get a certain amount of laps. So that, and yes, more horsepower means that, yes, we can pass them quicker and stuff like that, but yeah. Now in this stint, if way more are gonna like you know, do the pit stop and stuff that, then that's really, really good. But the fact that they're not passing us though is really good. But still, okay, so 340 there, but that did activate some of the battery there. But again, if it could refill the battery every time you pit, then that would have been good. So we are going to get a free place here because of this is going to be in the inside a bit. And he did pass us here, but we will get a free place in here. And again, this is of course not a guarantee that we're going to be able to do well here and stuff that, you know. And we're going to have to start the next part soon. I'm going to take some water though before we do drink some small water at least. Yes, we can still take some of them actually, so that. Okay, and there's two pitting now.